everyone, my name is Youngik here and I'm your host today. We are so happy to have everyone becoming a part of our Poets Day celebration. We are so honored to have our chief guest, Rahul Sharma, becoming a part of our Poets Day celebration. This day wouldn't have become a reality without our principal sister and all our dear teachers. Thank you for giving us such a golden opportunity to prove ourselves. So let's begin this occasion with a divine and a positive start. So I welcome Agna Rose of 2nd Standard for the prayer song.
We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We will walk hand in hand, we will walk hand in hand, we will walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall live in peace, we shall live in peace, we shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We are not afraid, we are not afraid, we are not afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. The world wide world around, the world wide world around, the world wide world around someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
Thank you, Agna, for the positive and divine start. And I would like to invite Anne Marie Bobin for the welcome note.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over valleys and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. A famous poem, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, by William Wordsworth. A very warm good morning to one and all. Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Rahul Sharma, respected Principal, Sister Shan Maria, Vice Principal, Sister Gio Teres, teachers and all my dear friends. We have gathered here to celebrate our Poets Day. It's an immense pleasure to start this auspicious occasion by heartily welcoming everyone. First of all, I would like to welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Rahul Sharma. He is the Associate Director of the renowned film Anjampadira. He is also the director of 3 short films, Raghavan, Urotam Boyalo, and Village Cricket Boy. Raghavan is an award-winning short film. The film was shortlisted in various film festivals. Moreover, he is a poet. I welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome our beloved principal, Sister Shan Maria. Her loving and caring personality always inspires us. I welcome you, dear sister. With all my heart, I would like to welcome our Vice Principal, Sister Gio Teres, to this beautiful event. Now, I am welcoming all our dear teachers. It is my pleasure to welcome all the participants for the Poets Day celebration. Last but not the least, I would like to welcome all my dear friends. Once again, I welcome all of you on behalf of Nirmala Mother Convent School, ER. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne Marie Bobin, for such a warm welcome. Next, I would like to invite our chief guest of the event, Rahul Sharma, for a few words.
നമസ്കാരം. നമ്മൾ പോയിറ്റ്സ് ഡേ ആഘോഷിക്കുകയാണ്. കവികളുടെ, കവിതകളുടെ, വായനക്കാരുടെ ഒരു ദിനമാണ് പോയിറ്റ്സ് ഡേ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. കവിത എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ വലിയ രീതിയിലുള്ള ഭാവനയുള്ളവർക്ക് മാത്രം ആസ്വദിക്കാവുന്ന ഒന്നാണ്. അത് എഴുതുന്നതായാലും വായിക്കുന്നതായാലും നല്ലോണം ഭാവന വേണം എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിലൊക്കെ ഒരു തെറ്റിദ്ധാരണ പൊതുവെ ഉണ്ടെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. കുഞ്ഞുണ്ണി മാഷ് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്, കവിതയ്ക്ക് വൃത്തം വേണ്ട, വൃത്തി മതി എന്ന്. കവിത എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അത് സാധാരണക്കാരനും ഏതൊരു സാധാരണക്കാരനും മനസ്സിലാവുന്ന ഒരു സാഹിത്യ മേഖല തന്നെയാണ്. നമ്മൾ സാധാരണ ജീവിതത്തിൽ സംസാരിക്കുന്ന അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പ്രയോഗിക്കുന്ന വാക്കുകളിലെല്ലാം തന്നെ പലപ്പോഴും സൂക്ഷ്മമായി നമുക്ക് നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ മനസ്സിലാവും അതിനകത്തൊരു കവിതയുണ്ടെന്ന്. നീ വന്ന വഴി മറക്കരുത് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സമയത്ത് അതിനകത്തൊരു കവിതയുണ്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് നമുക്ക് ഒരു ആശയം പകർന്നു തരുന്നുണ്ട്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ വാക്ക് നീ വന്ന വഴി മറക്കരുത് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സമയത്ത് ആ വാക്ക് നമുക്ക് പകർന്നു തരുന്ന അനുഭൂതി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിൻ്റെ ആശയം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് അത് ഏതൊരു സാധാരണക്കാരനും മനസ്സിലാവുന്ന ഒന്നാണ്. അതൊരു കവിതയാണ്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വലിയ രീതിയിലുള്ള വൃത്തത്തിലോ വലിയ രീതിയിലുള്ള ഭാവന കൊണ്ടോ എഴുതുന്നത് മാത്രമല്ല കവിത. ജീവിതത്തെ അതേപോലെ തന്നെ അതിൻ്റെ വളരെ സത്യസന്ധമായി ആവിഷ്കരിക്കുന്നത് കൂടിയാണ് കവിതയുടെ മറ്റൊരു ധർമ്മം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. നമ്മൾ പോയിറ്റ്സ് ഡേ പ്രധാനമായിട്ടും നമ്മൾ വിദേശത്തുള്ള അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പുറത്തുള്ള കവികളുടെ എഴുത്തുകാരുടെയൊക്കെ ഒരു ദിനം ആയിട്ടാണ് നമ്മളിവിടെ ആചരിക്കുന്നത്. അവരുടെ എല്ലാം കവിതകൾ നല്ലതാണ്. അവരുടെ എല്ലാം കവിതകൾ നമ്മൾ ആവർത്തിച്ച് വായിക്കുന്നതാണ്. അവരുടെ എല്ലാം കവിതകൾ കാലത്തിന് ശേഷവും കാലത്തിന് മുൻപേ സഞ്ചരിച്ച കവിതകളാണ്. ഇപ്പോഴും നമ്മളോടൊപ്പം സഞ്ചരിക്കുന്ന കവിതകളാണ്. ഇന്നും നിലനിൽക്കുന്ന കവിതകളാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെയാണ് മറ്റൊരു നാട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് ഒരാളുടെ ജീവിതത്തെ പറ്റി എഴുതിയ കവിത ഈ നാട്ടിൽ കിടക്കുന്ന നമുക്ക് റിലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്. കാരണം ജീവിതമെല്ലാം ഒന്ന് തന്നെയാണ്. എനിക്ക് പറയാനുള്ളത്, പുറത്തുള്ള കവിതകൾ നമ്മൾ വായിക്കണം, പുറത്തുള്ള കവികളെ നമ്മൾ അറിയണം. അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ നമ്മളോടൊപ്പം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ മണ്ണിൽ പിറന്ന ഒത്തിരി കവികളുണ്ട്. കുഞ്ചൻ നമ്പ്യാർ, കുമാരനാശാൻ, വൈലോപ്പിള്ളി എന്നിങ്ങനെ ഒത്തിരി കവികളുണ്ട്. അവരുടെ കവിതകളുമുണ്ട്. പുറത്തെ ഉള്ള കവിതകളും അറിയുന്നതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ ജീവിതത്തോട് അടുത്ത് നിൽക്കുന്ന, നമ്മുടെ ജീവിതത്തെപ്പറ്റി അറിഞ്ഞ, നമ്മുടെ സംസ്കാരത്തെപ്പറ്റി എഴുതിയ ഇവരെയൊക്കെ അറിയുന്നത് എന്തുകൊണ്ട് നല്ലതാണ് എന്നെനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു. അത് നിങ്ങളൊരു എഴുത്തുകാരനാക്കാനോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മറ്റ് എന്താക്കാനോ വേണ്ടിയല്ല. അത് കവിതയുടെ വായന അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കവിതയുടെ ഒരു സാധകം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ ജീവിതത്തിൽ വരുത്തുന്നൊരു ചിട്ടയുണ്ട്. ആ ചിട്ട നിങ്ങൾക്കും നമുക്കും എല്ലാവർക്കും ഉപകരിക്കുമെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. കവിത എഴുതുന്ന ആളുകളുണ്ടാവാം, കവിത വായിക്കുന്നവരുണ്ടാവാം, കവിത വായിക്കുകയും എഴുതാതിരിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്ന ആളുകളുണ്ടാവാം. എഴുതുന്നവരെ പറ്റി കുഞ്ഞുണ്ണി മാഷ് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു കാര്യം പെട്ടെന്ന് ഓർമ്മ വരികയാണ്. അത് പറഞ്ഞ് നിർത്താം. കവിത എഴുത്ത് ഒരു ശീലമാക്കരുത്. കാരണം ശീലം കൊണ്ട് എഴുതി ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നതിൽ കവിത കഷ്ടിയായേക്കാമെന്ന്. നിർമ്മലമാത കോൺവെൻറ്റ് സ്കൂളിലെ എല്ലാ കൂട്ടുകാർക്കും നല്ലൊരു ദിനം നേരുന്നു. നന്ദി.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful words. So, why do we really celebrate Poets' Day? Poets' Day is celebrated to honor all great legends and their works, and also to motivate others to read, write, and teach poetry. So, what really is poetry? Poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, which took its origin from emotions recollected in tranquility. So I would like to welcome our dear friends to give more information about great legends and their works. So I would like to welcome everyone.
Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence. A quote by Robert Frost.
No man is an island and air of itself. Every man is a piece of continent. Quote by John Donne.
Are made to be broken. Famous quote by Oscar Wilde.
God couldn't be everywhere, and therefore He made mothers. Rudyard Kipling.
All love begins and ends there. This is a famous quote by Robert Browning.
Time and tide wait for no man. Famous quote by Chaucer.
If you expect nothing from anybody, you are never disappointed. Words by Sylvia Plath.
Let's not be narrow, nasty, and negative. A famous quote by T.S. Eliot.
Life is divided into three terms: that which was, which is, and which will be. Let us learn from the past to the prophet, by the present and from the present, to live a better in the future. This is a famous quote by the Williams Wordsworth. Thank you.
A morning glory at my window satisfies me more than the metaphysics of books. It's a famous quote by Walt Whitman.
Afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. William Shakespeare.
Poetry should be great and unobtrusive, a thing which enters into one's soul and doesn't startle or amaze it with itself. but with its subject. It is a famous quote by John Keats.
I am going to sing a poem by William Wordsworth. Daffodils. I wanted glory at the cloud that falls so high, our valleys and hills. I saw a crowd, golden dust.
A good book is a precious lifeblood of a master's spirit. This is the famous quote by John Milton. Thank you.
Every child comes with the message that God is not yet discouraged of man. Rabindranath Tagore.
Thank you, dear friends, for such a marvelous performance. Now, to know more about great legends and their works, I welcome Alina Mary Gleason for her introduction.
Good morning to one and all. I am Alina Mary Gleason from Class 2. Today I am here to recite my favorite poem, Carry On, by Robert William Service. Robert William Service, a poet and writer who has often been called the Bard of Yukon, was born in England. Service is best known for his poems, The Shooting of Dan McGrew and The Cremation of Sam McGee. This poem evidently depicts the importance of hard work and willpower in our life. It's been said that life can never be carried out and truly lived to its fullest unless there has been some sort of suffering and pain. The poem goes like this. It's easy to fight when everything's right and you're mad with the thrill and the glory. It's easy to cheer when victory is near and bellowing fields that are gory. It's a different song when everything's wrong, when you're feeling infernally mortal, when it's 10 against 1 and hope there is none. Buck up, little soldier, and shudder. Carry on, carry on. There isn't much punch in your blow. You're glaring and staring and hitting up blind. You're muddy and bloody, but never mind. Carry on, carry on. You haven't a ghost of a show. It's looking like death, but while you have a breath, carry on, my son, carry on. And so in the strife of battle of life, it's easy to fight when you're winning. It's easy to slave and starve and be brave when the dawn of success is beginning. Carry on, carry on. But the man who can meet despair and defeat with a cheer, that is the man of God's choosing. But the man who can fight to the heaven's own height is the man who can fight when he is losing. Carry on, carry on. Things never were looming so black, and show that you have a cowardly spirit and thought you're unlucky, but never are weak. Carry on, carry on. Brace up for another attack. It's looking like hell, but you never can tell. Carry on, carry on. Fight for the good and fight for the true. Believe in your mission. Breathe life with your cheer. And at last, when you die, let this be your pride. Carry on, my soul, carry on.
Thank you, Alina, for such a charming performance. Next, I would like to call upon Austin Vijay Akkara of 1st Standard for his performance.
Rise and shine, I am Austin Vijay. Today I would like to speak about a famous person. He is a poet of nature and a worshipper of nature. I think you all got a small clue about the person. He is William Wordsworth. He was born on 7th April 1770 in England. He was the second in 5 children born to John Wordsworth and to Anne Cookson. William's sister, the poet and diarist Dorothy Wordsworth, born after William Wordsworth used to read books. Wordsworth, the most famous work, The Prelude, is considered by many to be the crowning of achievement. English romanticism. He is also best known for lyrical ballads. He has wrote many poems. William Wordsworth died on 23rd April 1850. Now I am reciting my favorite poem written by William Wordsworth. The Rainbow. My heart lifts up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. So was it when my life began. So it is now I am a man. So be it when I shall grow old or when I die. The child is father of the man. I could wish my days to be bound each to each by natural pity. In this poem, William Wordsworth wants to say that whenever he sees a rainbow, the excitement rises and his heart becomes so excited or happy seeing the rainbow in the sky. The appearance of the rainbow always remained unchanged. When the poet was born, the rainbow was there. It remains there when he was young. It will be there when he will grow old or when he will die. Like the rainbow, our life is connected with our past, present and future. Today's child will be tomorrow's father. I hope you all understood about the person William Wordsworth. Thank you.
Thank you, Austin. That was such a thoughtful performance. Next, I would like to introduce Neha Sarakurikos for her performance.
Everyone, myself Neha Sarakurikos here to present a short speech about William Shakespeare on our prosperous occasion of Poets' Day. William Shakespeare was a renowned English playwright and poet. He was born on 26th of April 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon. His father was a successful local businessman and his mother was the daughter of a landowner. Shakespeare, widely regarded as the greatest writer in English language and the world's preeminent dramatist. He is often called English national poet and nicknamed as the Bard of Avon. He got about 38 plays, 154 sonnets, 2 long narrative poems and few other verses which the authorship of some is uncertain. Shakespeare produced most of his known work between 1589 and 1630. His early plays were mainly comedies and histories, and these works remain regarded as some of the best work produced in these genres. He then wrote mainly tragedies until about 1608, including Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, Macbeth, considered some of the finest works in English language. In his last phase, he wrote tragic comedies and also known as romances, collaborated with other playwrights. Shakespeare's plays remain highly popular and today are constantly studied, performed and reinterpreted in diverse cultural and political contexts. Then was Shakespeare born, which also believed to has the date he died. One of Shakespeare's most famous poem was All the World's a Stage. The famous poem was first published as a part of As You Like It in the First Folio in 1623. Scholars are unsure when the play was performed in the first time, but it was likely sometime around 1603. This poem begins as, All the world's a sage. They have their exits and entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 sages. The speaker, Jacques, begins All the World's a Stage by asserting that life is like a stage which men and all the world's a stage. All the men and women merely players and women merely play their roles. They play different parts throughout their lives and as the speaker is now. They play different parts throughout their lives as the speaker is now. In the bulk of this monologue, the speaker spends time going through the 7 ages of man. One starts in infancy, move through childhood into the best part of their life when they are lover, soldier and judge. Later, they lose control of their senses and eventually can't take care of themselves. This is what has been described in the poem All the World's a Stage by William Shakespeare. And that's all for today. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you and have a very great day ahead.
Wow, Neha, it was such an outstanding performance. Next, I would like to call upon Avani of 8th Standard for her performance.
Hello everyone, I'm Avani from 8A. As we all know, today is the Poet Day and I'm going to talk about an American poet, Robert Frost. Robert Frost is an American poet of late 19th century, used nature in many of his writing. Robert Frost was born in San Francisco on March 26, 1874, but later moved to Lawrence after his father died, where he did most of his writing. He was a simple man He worked in a mill. He was a reporter. He was a New England farmer, and he wrote throughout his life. He had always been interested in literature. He attended Dartmouth College but remained less than one semester. In 1894, he sold his first work, My Butterfly and Elegy, to a New York journal. The Road Not Taken was originally published in 1916 and was Frost's most popular poem to date. Still, today it is considered as one of his best and most popular works. His other works are Mountain Wall, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, Tree at My Window, Fire and Ice, and many more. One of his popular poems is The Road Not Taken. The Road Not Taken is a narrative poem by Robert Frost, first published in August 1950 issue of Atlantic Monthly and later published as the first poem in the collection Mountain Interval. Its central theme is the divergence of paths, both literally and figuratively, although its interpretation is noted for being complex and potentially divergent. The Road Not Taken is a well poem about making choices in our life. The choices we make shape us. In the poem, the road symbolizes our life, and the path that we don't choose is the road not taken. The poet described his life experience and said that long ago he had two choices to make. He had chosen one and moved ahead with it. Now, if he wants to make another choice, he cannot do so. So, the message the poet wants to convey is that the choices we make significantly impact our future. If we make the wrong choice, then we cannot go back and correct it. We will have no option other than regretting it. So, we should be wise while making decisions or choices in our life. Now, let me sing a few lines of the poem The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow woods. I'm sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down when as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it is grassy and wanted care, though as far the passing there had warned them really about the same. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, Amni, for such a grateful performance. Next, I would like to introduce Anjana from Plus One for her performance.
Hello everyone. On this very special day of Poets Day, I am here to introduce you an English poet, Percy Bysshe Shelley. Born on 4th August 1792, was one of the major English Romantic poets. American literary critic Harold Bloom describes him as the superb craftsman, a lyric poet without rival, and surely one of the most advanced sceptical intellects ever to write a poem. A radical in his poetry as well as in his social and political views does not give him fame during his lifetime, but the recognition of his achievements in his poetry grew steadily after his death, and he became an influence to the subsequent generations of poets, including Swinburne, Hardy, Yeats. Shelley's critical reputation fluctuated in the 20th century, but in recent decades he has achieved increasing critical acclaim for the sweeping momentum of his poetic imaginary, his mastery of genres and verse forms, and the complex interplay of sceptical, idealist and materialist ideas in his work. Among his best-known works are Ozymandias in 1818, Ode to the West in Wind 1819, To a Skylark 1820, and the political ballad The Mask of Anarchy. The long poems such as Alastor or The Spirit of Solitude. Shelley also wrote prose fiction and a quantity of essays on political, social, and philosophical issues. Much of his poetry and prose was not published in his lifetime or only published in expurgated form due to this risk of prosecution for political and religious libel. Shelley's life was marked by family crisis, ill health, and backlash against his political views and defense of social conventions. He went into permanent self exile in Italy in 1880 and produced what leaders O'Neill called some of the finest poetry in the Romantic period. And he died in a boating accident in 1822 at the age of 29. Ozymandias, Shelley's beautiful work, which Shelley wrote with his friend and fellow poet Horace Smith, who also wrote a sonnet with the same topic and with the same title. Ozymandias by Percy Bysshe Shelley. I met a traveller from an antique land who said, "To vast and trackless legs of stone stand in the desert near them on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that it's sculpted. Well, those passions red, which yet survive, stand on these lifeless things. The hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed, and on the pedestal, these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty and despair, nothing beside remains. Round the decay of the colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sides stretch away." Thank you.
Thank you for that breathtaking performance from your side. Last but not least, Jasmine from 11th Standard for her performance.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to recite the poem My Mother at 66. It's written by Kamala Das, who was a renowned Anglo-Indian poet and literature and a leading Malayalam poet. She was born in Kerala and she wrote Malayalam short stories under a pen name Madhavi Kuti. Her love for a poet began in her earlier life and she was strongly influenced by her mother. Her subject matter is basically related to her bold personality, beautiful and sensitive. Main books written by her was Summer in Calcutta, The Stranger Time and The Silence. My mother at 66. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. Doors open mouth, her face ash like that of a corpse, and realized with the pain that she was as old as she looked. But soon put her thought away and looked at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out from their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan pale, as late as winter felt that old familiar ache of my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. This poem is about the poet's relation with the mother. Traveling with her mother to Cochin Airport, she looks at her mother's face closely and finds that she is weak. She undergoes pain when she feels that her mother has gone old. Experience the pain of separating from her forever, changes her mood and looks outside the window. Sees the young trees and children who are full of energy. She overcomes her tears and sorrows and on a positive note says to her mother that they would meet again soon. Thank you.
That was a marvelous performance. Now, I would like to welcome Isabella for the Thanksgiving.
A warm and happy morning to all of you. It is my privilege to say the vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Rahul R. Sharma, to grace the show. I am immensely thankful for our dear principal, Sister Shan Maria, for her wholehearted support. I also express my sincere thanks to our Vice Principal, Zio Theres, for her encouragement in all of our events. Thank you, Sister. Next, I would like to thank our rock stars who made our event more attractive by their impressive performance. Next, I would like to thank all of those who worked behind this program. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Isabella, for your wonderful work. Our program is coming to an end. Poetry is a rhythm of beautiful words, so let's all become creative and create new things. Thank you for listening aspirationally. Thank you.